What's going on, guys? Nick here with the Fantasy Scholars. Hope you all had a wonderful day, but now it's time to talk fantasy. Today I'm going to be listing a couple of players that I think are sell highs in Dynasty formats. Let's get right into this one. My first sell high player is Tyler Lockett. Now, Tyler Lockett is coming off of an explosive year. He finished wide receiver 8 with a whopping 264 fantasy points. But, in my opinion, it's a deceiving wide receiver 8. Why do you ask? Well, if you look at his per game fantasy point scores, he scored 20% of his entire total fantasy points in just 1 week. It was that 53-point explosion where he scored three touchdowns, 200 yards, an insane week. And I mean, Lockett owners were rejoicing. I was one of them in one of my leagues. It was awesome. But the problem is his highs are high, but his lows are pretty low. Take a look at some of these stats. Like I said, 20% of his points were scored in just 1 game. But look at this one. 42% of his total points came in just 4 games. That's a 16-game season, and almost half of the points he scored was in just 4 games. I mean, if that doesn't scream inconsistency, I don't know what does. Look at this too. He failed to score more than 12 points in 10 of 16 games and single digits in 7 games. I mean, there's no denying Tyler Lockett is a very talented receiver. He just got a huge new contract. He's going to be in Seattle for a while with Russell Wilson, which is a bonus. But you have to remember DK Metcalf is still there. I think Tyler Lockett has hit his ceiling in terms of what he can do in a single season. Through the past 3 years, he has progressively gotten better, and I just don't think he can replicate this in years to come. I think now is a perfect time to target him in trades. A lot of people in your leagues might not be doing the in-depth research and seeing, or at least crunching his numbers, seeing the inconsistency. Wide receiver 8 is a hot commodity. You know, maybe target your A.J. Browns, people like that, younger guys that have a lot of juice in the tank that haven't quite hit their ceiling. Next up on the list, I'm excited for this one. It could cause some controversy between the fantasy scholars because he is on one of our teams, and that is Adam Thielen. Thielen. I have a feeling that I'm selling Thielen. And that's because I also think that this guy has hit his ceiling. Wide receiver 10 last year, a whopping 14 TDs. This is the most TDs he scored in a single season. He's been close. He scored 9. He scored 8. This isn't actually the best fantasy season he's had. 2 years ago, I believe that he scored more points. But however, I just don't really see this guy sustaining what he did last year. 14 TDs is screaming regression. Justin Jefferson seems to be emerging as the guy there. I think that you could definitely target some younger guys as well. Thielen is 31, which, you know, isn't necessarily old for a wide receiver by any means. He still will be a good player, but I think selling high, you don't want to sell low. It's the point in trading anything, you know. Sell stocks high. Sell fantasy players high. And once again, I think Adam Thielen's a great player. I still think he's going to be a good fantasy player, but, you know, targeting maybe a couple draft picks, other young wide receivers or running backs that can help you win your leagues. So those are the 2 players right now that I am selling high. You know, maybe throw them on the trade block, see if you get any offers. Throw a couple offers out there yourself, see if anyone bites. Thanks for watching this video, and make sure to tune in for more.